Alrighty, hi everybody. So it is Drea again. Um, so today, since my whole video blog is all about people understanding what it's like transitioning and kind of what all goes with it, I thought this was one of the most fitting ones because it happens to me quite often. So what that is be ready for some really awkward conversations because no matter what you're on social media, unless it's Grinder, um don't count on people actually reading your posts and understanding your posts because I post so much stuff about being transgender, it says it on my profile, all of these different things, and for me, I personally just think it's super obvious that I'm transgender. Maybe not physically wise, but with everything I post, because no cis female is going to be posting stuff about being transgender, transgender laws, blah blah blah. So it's been kind of weird because it's okay, I start talking to a guy and I just now I kind of just figure that they know. That's really not the case. So it gets really awkward and kind of sketchy here and there because it's oh well, you do know I'm trans, right? And they're like, what? Or you'll be talking and all of a sudden it'll take a sexual turn. And they'll be like, yeah, so tell me what you like. And it's fuck. And then they when you just stop talking to them and they'll be like, do you squirt? And it's I am transgender, so this makes things really awkward because I don't have bottom surgery yet, obviously, and yeah, so it's just this it's a super awkward phase because it's oh it's no, that's not the case. Actually, I can't squirt. I mean, I can, but not in the way that you want. So, and then they continue to be like, oh, I've never done that before. And I'm like, really? That's what you have to say? Obviously you've probably not done it before. Chances are you probably haven't. But whatever. So anyways, so this is one of the things that drives me insane because it's okay, I am pretty straightforward with being transgender. I have no shame in it. I have no uh filter with it because I really don't care. Because this is my life, and if you don't like it, you don't have to be in it. That's fine. But so sorry. With all of it, it just gets so frustrating after a while because it's oh well, I haven't done that, and then it's oh well, we could try it, and it's we could try it, boo boo, boo boo. I ain't a try. I'm a do and B do. It's not this whole oh well, maybe once, and it's no, honey, you're already written off because that's not who I am. I'm not someone that's just gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, let's just have sex once and see if you like it, and you probably won't end up with me, so let's just have no, if you don't want to be with me in a relationship before I have had my surgery or before I've done anything, that's your issue. And I'm not going to demean myself to be a first time for you just because you might be cute or just because you call me pretty or just because you say these things. That doesn't affect me. Because I get called pretty every day. So it's I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I get called pretty every day, so like being called pretty doesn't do much for me. And like that's whatever. That is like truly whatever, like does not matter to me. Like giving me compliments, that's not a way to get me in your bed, like any of the sort, because like at the end of the day, like I'm so comfortable with who I am, and I know I'm pretty, and I know I'm confident, and I know I'm beautiful, and I know I'm all of these things. And it took me a while to get to that point, but now it's like I don't care if you call me these things. I don't care what you call me, whether it's good or bad. Like, I want you to show me who you are. I want you to show me that I'm beautiful. I want you to show me that you're interested in me, not by sex, but by everything else. And you know, like, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with just having sex. I'm okay with it. I have yet to have sex on hormones, so like I've been kind of not wanting to do it because it's like I don't know if I'm gonna get extremely attached to this person emotionally. I don't know what's gonna happen because my emotional status as a trans female is very different since I started hormones. So like I don't know what's gonna happen, and like I fell in love easy when I was gay and male predominantly, and I feel like hormones is gonna amplify that a little bit or a lot of it. So like I've just been kind of like steering clear of it for now, which is whatever. Like it's everybody's personal choice. Like, but yeah. So it's just like for me, it's like I'm a whole new person. Like starting hormone. I mean, I'm not a whole new person, but like I've started a new chapter of my life. Like I've started different parts of my life, and then moving forward with others, and like so like it's like I kind of got a restart button to an extent. Like obviously like I've still done shitty things. I've still like and that will always be there. But like with everything else like pertaining to me, like I kind of got to reinvent myself because like so everybody knew me as the gay male and people knew my persona, people knew kind of the things that had been said. But since I came out as transgender, very few people have slept with me. Especially now that I've been on hormones, no one slept with me. So like I got to really reinvent who I was and reinvent like what everybody sees me as. And like so since I got that chance, I'm trying to make the best of it because it's like, okay, like I used to be called a slut. I used to be a whore. Like I used to be all of these things that I despised and I did not like. And you know, like people's life choices are their choices. But like I hated being that because it was so meaningless to me. And like no matter how many people like you know, it was just like that's what made me pretty. And like when I got in relationships, it was so toxic because I was like, well, you're not saying all these things that other people are saying. Like, so what don't I get? So like it was just this toxic thing for me because it was like, oh, like, and it's just, like, you know, it's the grass is always greener on the other side. And so like, and I wasn't, and I mean, I didn't care if I hurt people when it came to being in a relationship because like that's you know it's the stigma. That's what gay guys do. They have multiple partners, they have open relationships, and they do all of these things. So like it wasn't a bad thing for me to do. Like, you know, nobody really looked down on it and was like, oh hey, like you probably shouldn't be doing that. And so like coming out as transgender, I was like, okay, look, like since I am going to be female, like what did I find most attractive about females? And like I know nowadays it's not really the same thing, but like I used to see like these girls and like they wouldn't put out and they were kind of prude and like I always envied that. And because it seemed like they had so much control in their relationships and they had so much more substance behind it. So like when I got to reinvent myself, I was like, that's what I want to be like. So I don't want to be a promiscuous girl because you get called a slut and a whore and all of these things. So like that's not who I wanted to be. So when I reinvented myself and got to do so, I made everything that I wanted to be, and I made a list of it, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to achieve this. And one of my goals being transgender was to end this whole cycle for me of just being in and out of relationships, being in shitty relationships, being in all of these different kinds of relationships that were open and all of these things. So like when I finally do have sex with someone after I started taking hormones, it's really going to mean something to me. And you know, like, and I know that sounds weird and it doesn't really make sense to a lot of people, but once you start hormones, you might understand it a little bit more. Because that's just kind of where your mind goes, because that's like every girl's fucking dream is to be in a solid relationship with a good guy, have a family, and all of those things. And like, if you were like that before you started hormones, you're gonna be especially like that after hormones. I feel like I was never super into having kids. Like I loved kids, but I never wanted my own. And like after seeing babies, I'm like, oh my god, babies, I want one, you know. And so like things just change a little bit more, and things get different, and all of these different things. So like I'm just saying, be prepared for these awkward conversations. Be prepared for a lot of these awkward circumstances because they're gonna happen. And yeah, so those are my 2 cents for the day. Don't forget to be who you are and love who you are. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Make sure you comment anything that you want me to do videos of, and I would love to do it. And thank you to all my new subscribers. I finally have hit over 100, which obviously is not a whole lot, but we're getting there. So again, like, subscribe, be who you are, love who you are. Don't ever, ever relent on those 2 things. And all right, peace and love.